Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks today. We're talking Friday, January 10th. The Splash Zone is back in your life. I'm going to have six NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in. A pretty heavy day that we have. Luckily, I do feel a little bit better about saying the Splash Zone is back in your life because the last 2 days have been pretty good. We have been able to splash around, get a little wet over the past 2 days. That included yesterday where we went 3-1 on our 4 plays. The only one we lost was Amen Thompson points. Looked like that had a shot in the first half. Didn't do anything in the second half. That was kind of dead after the third quarter. But the other 3 came through for us. Malik Beasley once again came through for us, 20 plus points. Walker Kessler, that could have been laddered, 12 plus rebounds. And Bradley Beal also could have been laddered. Hit his points plus assist prop up a little bit over 2.5 units yesterday. Very, very nice day that we had. That now brings our profit on the entire season. We are up a little bit over 6 units. Now, it's January. The season has been going on for over 2 months, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that up over 6 units is amazing. But when you consider where we came from, I'm happy to be up 6 units. We were up about 8 units in December. We've basically broken even in January, but the last couple days have been very good. Let's hope that we can keep that going. Reminder to like the video, reminder to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for today's question that I want you to comment, it's if you can only watch one TV show for the rest of your life, but every time you watched it, it was brand new. So basically you watched the show, then your memory got wiped and you can watch that show for the first time every single time. What would that TV show be? My answer is actually an anime. It's Attack on Titan. I think it's the best TV show I've ever watched in my entire life. It's just phenomenal. If you are okay with animated stuff, I highly recommend checking out Attack on Titan, the best show I've ever watched. But I want to know your answer, so go ahead and put that in the comments. I'll read through them, comment on as many as I can. You guys don't tune in here for me to talk about TV shows. So let's talk about plays for today. So I actually don't have anything in these first 3 games. And I guess I should say I'm using Props Madness, amazing website. If you want to sign up, I put the link in the description of the video if you want to check it out. You can get a free trial and all that stuff. But I don't have anything in these first 3 games. I do have 3 plays in this game, which I get is a little bit risky, but we're going to go with it. And the first one that we're going to lock in here is Jason Tatum. I'm going to take him 10 plus rebounds. So you could get over 8.5 at -135. I don't really love that. You know me, I would much rather get them over 9.5 for plus money. And you can actually get plus 115 odds at DraftKings. So that is my first official bet here is Jason Tatum, 10 plus rebounds, plus 115 odds at DraftKings. So on the entire season, as you can see, he's hit this in only 44% of his games. But there are a couple reasons why I like this play. It doesn't have a lot to do with the matchup, to be honest with you. It just has a lot to do with the situation. Nobody important is missing for the Celtics as of this current moment in time. Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. Those are the main 4 guys, that starting lineup. Those guys are all healthy. No injury designation. If something is a late scratch, that's out of our hands because that's not the expectation. And the most important thing here is Kristaps Porzingis. If you look at games in which he's played with KP, that goes from a 44% hit rate to a 63% hit rate. Now, he did miss this last game against the Nuggets. That was a weird game. Derek White ended up being a late scratch in that game. Nikola Jokic ended up being a late scratch in that game. And he only had 4 rebounds. Just a weird game overall. But we'll take a 7 out of 11 hit rate, averaging over 10.5 rebounds per game in that stretch as well. But it's not just Kristaps Porzingis. It's honestly the entire starting lineup. If he has Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Drew Holiday, the important thing is here, they can all kind of take away Jason Tatum needing to guard the best matchup. So those guys are sticking to their man. They can put Jason Tatum on someone that's not really a shooter, let him grab the boards and go, which is very valuable for him. So as you can see, that means he has now hit this. If you look at games which he's played with all 4 players, it's only been 7 games. He's hit it he's hit it in 6 of the 7 games. He's averaging almost 3 more rebounds per game when all 5 of them are in the lineup together. In the one game he went under, he had 9 rebounds. Now, he only had 12 rebound chances, so that wasn't, honestly, he shouldn't have even had 9 rebounds. But still, the only time he went under, he would have hooked us with the under. And Al Horford missed that game as well. Now, the most important thing here is these 4. So I'm not going to also add the filter to include Al Horford, but that is just someone important that was missing. But when these 4 guys are in the lineup, they're all going to stick to their defensive matchups. They're going to put Tatum on a non-shooter like this one. He might honestly guard Sabonis. because I like to put him on these non-shooters. And then they probably won't do that. But anyways, they're going to put him on these non-shooters. He's going to be able to crash the boards, get the ball in transition, and go. So Jason Tatum, 10 plus rebounds as our first pick of the video. I absolutely love. I have someone in the same game on the same team. We're going to go with Kristaps Porzingis. I actually took him 20 plus points. So as we see that 19 is kind of a key number, we see that he's hit over 18 and a half points in 9 of 14 games. He's only hit 20 plus points in 6 of 14 games. So 3 separate times we see right here, 19, 19, and 19. 3 separate times he's landed on 19 points. That's more just kind of random variance, random noise than anything. If he's getting 19 points, he can get us to 20 points. It's just a 1-point difference. But I want to take out a couple games. Like he only played 13 minutes against the Sixers because he got hurt at the beginning of this game. Only played 11 minutes against the Wizards because he got hurt at the beginning of that game. So if we just look at games in which he's played 20 minutes, and he's going to play more than 20 minutes. Like this is basically saying if he doesn't get hurt, how many points does he score? Almost 20 points per game. And we're getting this was plus 145 odds at bet365. So when Kristaps is playing, he's been pretty good. And with the full lineup together, it looks pretty good for Kristaps as well. But I really like this play because of the matchup. As you can see, he scores the majority of his points via free throws. The Kings allow the 6th most points per game off of free throws, meaning they foul at a decent rate. Next up, he scores, actually it's almost tied. It's 0.1 point difference, but he scores the second majority of his points, about 19%, via being the pick and roll man. The Kings allow the 3rd most points per game to pick and roll man. Now, post-ups, the Kings are a little bit below average, only 16th. That's almost exactly average. So we're going to call them average at post-ups. But then after that, spot-ups. The Kings allow literally the most points per game to spot-up shooters. So 3 of the top 4 play types look really, really good for Kristaps Porzingis. And if we look at players similar to the Kristaps Porzingis, it's these stretch bigs. All 3 of them have hit their point prop. Now, Wemby did it twice, scored 34 points against the Kings both times. His over-under was 23.5. And Miles Turner did it as well. He has scored, he went over his number against the Kings. So if you're a big man who can stretch the floor and shoot, you can have a lot of success against the Kings, which is why I like Kristaps in this matchup. So if we just look at he scored 19 points in 75% of the games, or he didn't get hurt in the first quarter. So if we just need him to get 1 more point above that, I really like it. He's starting to play more minutes too. He went from 23 in his first game up to 32 3 games after that. Last game, he played 34 minutes. So his minutes are starting to get ratcheted up, and he's been pretty consistent. It's only been 1 game where he really hasn't played well at all, or that hasn't scored well at all, I should say, against the Rockets. We only scored 11 points and just didn't really do much in that game. Played 28 minutes, but it's a good matchup for him. The hit rate is good when he's playing and not getting hurt in the first quarter, which if he gets hurt in the first quarter, there's nothing we can do about that. So I really like Kristaps Porzingis. I like him at the pumped up number of 20 plus points. Again, that's plus 145 odds at bet365. I have another pick in this game. I know that it's a little bit risky to go 3 picks in the same game, but I really like them, and I don't want to try and be picky and choosy. It's De'Aaron Fox over 4.5 rebounds. Now, I was able to get this. Actually, you can get a better price. I was able to get this at minus 109. You can currently get it at plus 105. So if you're watching this, you're actually getting a better price than I was able to get. And it's all about the matchup against the Celtics. Number one, the matchup is good, but I do want to just say the hit rate is honestly is his average hitting this more often than not. 65% of the time, he grabs 5 or more boards. He averages about 5 boards per game. So I like this at minus 109. I like it a heck of a lot better at plus 105 or minus 105, which you can get at ESPN Bet. So this is one of the situations where I did not get the best price. But it's a good matchup for guard rebound props. And I like the fact that Fox is a guard that will try and go up and get the ball. So the reason why this is a good matchup is because of how many 3-pointers the Celtics take. We all know the Celtics like to bomb 3-pointers. They're going to take more 3-pointers than any other team, and they're just going to let the math work out in their favor. What that means is there's a lot of long rebounds that end up being able to go to guards. So guards can get a lot of rebounds against the Celtics. The Celtics are bottom 5 in terms of rebounds allowed to centers. They're top 5 in terms of rebounds allowed to guards. And if you look at players similar to De'Aaron Fox, 5 of 7 have hit their rebound prop over. And the 2 that missed, Jamal Murray, who actually, this line opened at 3.5. I actually bet Jamal Murray in this game. I bet him over 3.5. He hit that, ended with 4 rebounds. And that was, again, the same weird game where Jokic was ruled out. But even if we don't count that as a win, it's 2 losses. Both of them were hooks. The other ones, some of them were hooks, some of them were not. Actually, none of them actually were hooks. So every single time a player went over, he went over by more than 1 rebound above what his over-under is priced at. And these are all guards that are decent at rebounding, but no one had an over-under. I mean, the highest one was 6.5. In both ones that were 4.5 cashed. It was Lou Dort and it was Cade Cunningham. So De'Aaron Fox, the history is there in terms of his hit rate and his averages. And there's honestly nothing concerning about his rebound chances as well. Like, in the game that he went under, 7 isn't great, 6 isn't great, but then we see 9, that's fine. 8, that's fine. 8, that's fine. 8, that's fine. 7, a little bit less than fine. But if we're asking him to get 50% rebounds or collect 50% of his rebound chances, that's totally fine. So De'Aaron Fox over 4.5 rebounds. I'm going to track it at the number that I sent it out to my Dub Club at -109 because that's only fair. But if you're watching this, you can get a +105, which is a lot better. So that's our third pick of the video. The next one we are locking in, we are heading to this Thunder versus Knicks game. Now there's a lot of good looks in this game. My favorite one, which is the one I ended up going with, obviously, is Josh Hart. I'm going right back to 10+ rebounds. I mean, this is absolutely brutal. So I've bet Josh Hart 10+ rebounds one time in the last 9 games. It was the only game that he did not get 10+ rebounds, and he's gotten 12 or more. Actually, 11 or more in every other game. It's just brutal luck. That's unfortunately the way that sports betting goes sometimes. I'm going right back to Josh Hart, 10+ rebounds. You can get this at, so the best offered price, these are all 8.5 at super juiced. I took him over 9.5. I got that at +110 odds at bet365. So you can get a way better price because I'm never going to pay -140, -140 odds is the best offered price. So I'm going 10+ on this one. But as you can see, he's hit it in 8 of his last 9 games, which is crazy. The rebound chances are crazy as well. Even in the game that he went under, he had 18 rebound chances, and his rebound chances have been a lot, and his conversion rate has also been a lot. I mean, we see another game against the Raptors. He had 4 more rebounds on 1 more rebound chance. Here's another one, 20 rebound chances, 14 rebounds, 23 rebound chances, 16 rebounds. Then the outlier here, 7 on 18, but then 14 of 19, high conversion rate, 15 of 25, low conversion rate, 25 potentials, 11 of 16, so high conversion rate, 13 of 22, low conversion rate, high potentials, 12 of 21, low conversion rate, high rebound chances. This is all about the matchup against the Thunder. The Thunder, they do a lot of things very, very well. They allow a lot of rebounds. As you can see here, they allow the second most rebounds in the entire NBA, and it's a good matchup for players with his rebounding profile. Yeah, Josh Hart missed it. Only one other player with his rebounding profile did not hit their rebounding prop. That was Amen Thompson back on December 1st. But Russell Westbrook, Josh Giddey, Scotty Barnes, Luka Doncic, Amen Thompson. So he missed it one game, hit it in the other. Josh Hart missed it, and then Tatum hit it last game with 10 rebounds. The Thunder are an amazing team, but you can collect a lot of rebounds against them. And after missing it last time, like if you told me he was going to get 18 rebound chances, I would have gladly taken him to get to 10 rebounds. It just ended up not really working out in our favor. That's, again, unfortunately the way that sports betting goes. But I love this play on Josh Hart, 10+ rebounds. He's been rebounding like a maniac. It's a massive game against the Thunder. So just because he didn't hit it last game, that's not going to make me want to not bet it the next time. So Josh Hart, 10+ rebounds, +110 odds at bet365. 2 more plays, and they're both in this Bulls versus Wizards game. Bulls versus Wizards game. I mean, when you have 2 defenses as bad as these 2 teams that play at a pace as fast as these 2 teams, it's going to be very rich for props. The first one, we're going to go with the guy who burned us last time we took him, but I'm going to take Vooch. So his point prop is over 19.5. You can, best offered price I think was +100 on FanDuel, which is not on here. I'm actually not going points. I am going first quarter points, as you can see. And I didn't take the 6.5. I took the over 4.5. I got it at -113. You can now get it at -115. I would still take it there. But just look how much higher the hit rate goes. It goes from 17 of 36 games in which he scored 20 points to, that's not 4.5. It's, not 6.5. It's 4.5. To 24 of 36 games, hitting that 2/3 of the time. Now, he has been in a little bit of a colder stretch recently. That honestly just makes me like this play even more. Because he had a stretch where he hit it in like 9 straight games, which is crazy. And even since then, it's not like it's been terrible, but he's missed it in 3 straight games. He's missed it in 4 of his last 5. Honestly, that's perfect. That just makes me like this play even more. We get to fade recent results. Everybody's probably mad at Vooch because the last time we bet him in the first quarter, he did not hit. He had 9 field goal attempts in this game against the Spurs. 9. That's incredibly unlucky, but we will gladly take a player to take 9 shots to only need to score 5 points. He's probably not going to shoot 1 of 9 game over game. And Vooch is a classic center who gets rolling early with his scoring. And the matchup against the Wizards is as good as it gets. I mean, pick and roll Roman, a quarter of his points. Wizards are the second worst defense guarding pick and roll Roman. Next up, post ups. He's either rolling to the basket via a pick and roll or he's posting up. The Wizards give up the 3rd most points per game to post ups. Next up is spot up. That's the 3rd play type. The Wizards are the only thing they do mildly well. I mean, like they're 2 things that they're above average at, spot ups and off screen. So that's fine. But then transition, 4th most points per game off of transition. That's the 4th play type for Vooch. Now we don't have anything off of cuts because NBA.com doesn't give us defensive data off of cuts, but we don't know about that one. But then free throws, they fouled the 2nd highest rate in the entire NBA. And if you just hover over the Wizards matchup, we see a lot of green. 2nd worst defense in the NBA against his play type. That is what I mentioned before. That is pick and roll Roman. They allow the 3rd most points per game to his shot zone. So where he scores the majority of his points in terms of shot zone, above the break threes. The Wizards are the 3rd worst defense guarding that. That's where the 28 here is. Defensive rating, 2nd worst defense in the NBA. Points in the paint allowed, 27th. The 4th most points. 4th most points allowed via points in the paint. As you can see, that also makes up 60% of Vooch's shot chart. He's either scoring in the paint or above the break 3-pointers. That's good. Pace, 4th fastest pace. Everything looks good for Vooch. Now, another thing that made me take the first quarter a lot better, he's hit 5 points in the first quarter, both games against the Wizards, 5 points, 6 points. He did not score 20 points in either of them, 19 and 12. And they won by 19, lost by 19. Both those games were blowouts, just in opposite directions. So the first quarter makes a lot more sense, in my opinion, for Vooch. So Vooch over 4.5 first quarter points as our 5th pick of the video. And then our last one, we're heading to the Wizards. And I'm taking Bub Carrington. Carlton is his official name. We call him Bub. I'm taking him over 4.5 assists. So I was able to get this at plus 110. It looks like that's still available. That's the exact bet I took. Bub Carrington over 4.5 assists. So if you're looking at the entire season, you're saying, he's only hit this in 7 of 24 games. Why are we betting this? Couple reasons why. Number one, he's a rookie, so, start slow. Look how well he's been diming up recently. He's hit this in, like 6 of his last 7 games, I believe is what it is. Looks like it is, he's hit this in 6 of his last 7 games. The one game he missed, he had 4 assists, so he just would have given us the hook, but he had 10 potential assists. We'll gladly take 10 potential assists, which is pretty much what he's been averaging in the games of his last 7. I mean, we see 7. So that one is a high conversion rate. That one we would hope for more than 7. 13, 9, perfectly acceptable. 9, 10, 10, 10. So only twice has he gone a number, or only once has he gone a number that we wouldn't like. And there's a couple of reasons why he has been playmaking more. Number one, he's been playing without Malcolm Brogdon. If you look at games he's played without Malcolm Brogdon, so he's played 17 overall. He's hit it in 10 of those 17, so still a 60% hit rate, averaging about 5 assists per game. But he missed it in the first 3. Those are the first 3 games of his NBA career. 26 minutes, 25 minutes, 21 minutes. So still played a decent amount of minutes. But those are literally the first games he played in his career. So if we just take out those first 3 games, we go a little, just looking at his last 14, he's hit it 10 of those last 14, averaging over about 5.5 assists. And it's also been like a lot better recently, as I mentioned. We look at his last 10 games. He's hit it in 6 of his last 7. The potential assists are there. And the matchup is there as well. The Bulls give up the 2nd most assists just in general. They give up the most assists specifically to point guards. They've been a team we've targeted for point guard assist props all year. As you can see, only 8 of the last 15 doesn't sound amazing. But some of these guys like White and Holiday, Pritchard, that's actually the only ones. White, Holiday, and Pritchard are a little bit different than Carrington. But after that, it's like 10 of his last 12, something like that. And the ones that hit, like Trae Young at 13, Lillard 12, Micic 7, Bub Carrington 6, who we're betting on. And in that same game, Brogdon also had 6. Jordan Poole missed it. That's fine. Brunson would have given us the hook 8 on an 8.5, then 9, 13, 5. So it's a very good matchup. Bub Carrington has been much better assisting recently. So I like this play a lot on him to go over 4.5 assists. And that is all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. So as a reminder, the 6 plays that we have on tap for today, we are going with, I'm just going to go in order of best odds to worst, is Vooch over 4.5 first quarter points, -113 odds at Caesars. De'Aaron Fox over 4.5 rebounds, -109 odds at Caesars. That's what I bet it at. You could actually get it at a better number, +105. Bub Carrington over 4.5 assists, +110. Josh Hart, 10+ rebounds, +110. Jason Tatum, 10+ rebounds, +115. Kristaps Porzingis, 20+ points, +145 odds. And that's all we got. So 6 bangers for you guys to lock in. Reminder to like the video. Reminder to subscribe. Remember to comment the TV show that you would watch only once, or you can only watch one TV show for the rest of your life, but it's new every time you watch it. Check out the links in the description of the video if you want to support the channel. I have a link to Dub Club. I have a link to Props Madness. But again, that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.